Today we are looking at how to recreate the tone from John Mayer's latest single, Last Train Home. So let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a guitarist based here in the UK, and on this channel we discuss guitar chops, guitar technique and musician's mindset. And if you haven't smashed that subscribe button already, do so to stay tuned. Today we are talking about the lovely tone that is on John Mayer's latest single, Last Train Home. This is such a vintage 80s tone, guitar tone. It really reminds me of Eric Clapton's album Journeyman, a personal favourite album of mine, and I have been trying to recreate this tone for ever since I started playing guitar. So I've kind of scratched around over the years looking for little bits of information on how these guys develop tone like this, and that is what we are discussing today. So let's take a look. Right, let's start at the start of the signal chain, the guitar. I feel like the guitar is often overlooked when talking about tone. It all seems to stem from amps and pedals, but really this is the building block of the tone. This is the start of where the tone is produced. So we're going to go through the signal chain step by step. Firstly, the guitar. So we're just talking about the solo tones on this track, not any of the rhythm tones or anything. And we're going to be on the neck pickup, a single coil style guitar. I actually don't have a Stratocaster, but obviously a Stratocaster would be preferable. But a Fender type instrument, single coils, you can get these sort of tones we're after. Okay. And the volume knob all the way up. The tone knob, this is where it gets interesting. The tone knob is not all open. Okay, to my ear, I'm hearing a tone knob rolled off. Okay, and the trick with this is roll it all the way off and then bring it back until you can start to hear the treble come back into it. So it's not so nasally and closed off. We want to open it up ever so slightly. Somewhere there, okay? So we've got the pickup selected, volume knob all the way up, tone rolled off. Right, now I want to talk about the attack of the pick. To my ear, we are heavily attacking the strings. Now, attack doesn't mean loud and aggressive. It doesn't mean heavy on the strings, because that doesn't sound like the tone, does it? The attack is how quick I approach the string. That's how I'm viewing attack. Okay, it's almost as if I'm whipping the string. Okay, that's how it feels. I've got a very relaxed hand and then I approach the string with the weight of my hand. That's how I think we develop attack on the strings. Okay, lots of vibrato. Okay, short but aggressive vibrato, and especially the classic Eric Clapton vibrato. If you're not familiar with the Eric Clapton vibrato or would like to learn how to do the Eric Clapton vibrato, please check out this video where I discuss it in depth. Once we have all these things in place, that is pretty much the tone from the guitar. That is doing a lot of the work. So now let's talk about effects, pedals and amplifiers. This is my preset on the Line 6 HX Stomp. However, this hasn't really got anything to do with the Line 6 HX Stomp. Everything I'm going to be discussing is exactly how I would run the tone through an analog tube amp into real effects pedals. So basically, we're going to be coming in here. That's where we're plugging in. Okay, and let's imagine this as the output signal. So input signal, output signal. First off, tube screamer, okay? This is what is going to drive our amp. So, little bit of drive, okay? Don't worry about the bass and the treble too much. What I'm really going for is this tone, okay? I want the tone really less than halfway. I want it quite dark sounding, okay? And then the bass and the treble, I will just tune to complement the tone. However, this is really important. Output, 100%. That's how Stevie Ray used to run it. He used to put the volume of the tube screamer all the way up, okay, to really drive the tubes of the amp. That is the goal here. We're trying to drive the amp. We're not trying to get so much gain out of the pedal. And then I'm using a Fender Deluxe type amp. I've got the drive low. Now, bass, middle, and treble, okay, I want you to think like this. As the neutral position for these pots as 5, okay, or 12 o'clock, okay, and then all you really need to do is move them slightly clockwise or slightly anti-clockwise. You don't want anything too extreme. So I have the bass turned up a little bit and I have the mids turned up a little bit. The mids are really important here. The mids are going to give us body and depth to our sound. For me, the mids are the most important part of the tone section of an amp. Okay, that is what really gives the tone character. So bass slightly up, remember I'm going for quite a dark sound. Mid slightly up, going to give me body, depth, clarity, a bit more weight behind my tone. Okay, and then treble slightly rolled off. Remember I'm going for quite a dark tone. Presence 8.2. You know what? I just play that by ear. I just go with whatever sounds good. Channel volume. Okay, all the way up again. So gain coming in but low. I want my amp quite clean, okay, but I want it punchy, so I turn the channel volume all the way up. Then here's the speaker, 4x12 with a 57 sitting on it, okay. 2x12 or 4x12, either is fine. I just find that without looking at what it is, I get a more authentic sound out of a 4x12. I'm not really bothered about what it says here. I am going for how it sounds to my ear. Mic'd up with 57, close, okay. I bring a little bit of the low cut in because the line 6 tends to be very hummy on the low end. So I bring a little bit of low cut in. High cut I don't even have on. Level is just set to normal. And then for this particular tone, of course, it is a chorus pedal. So low speed, lots of depth. Low speed, lots of depth. That's how you get a smooth, chorusy sound. If you have the speed up, it sounds like a vibrato pedal and it's not great sounding. So smooth with the speed, that's how I look at this. I just look at it as smooth rather than speed. And then a lot of depth. Boom. I want it low in the mix. That's the key to this particular sound, low in the mix. You don't want really overpowering chorus. You know, we don't want a Police record or something. We want just a nice, authentic 80s hug to our tone. Okay, level doesn't really matter here too much. And then our time-based effects, reverb and delays, stuff like that. This is entirely up to you really. I'm just using my ear for this. I'm just using a tube echo, sounds nice and warm. I like a little bit of flutter bringing in, okay, quite low in the mix. And then I'm using a spring reverb. I think the spring reverb is quite authentic for this. I think people like Clapton would have been getting his reverb from his Fender amps. So I think this is quite authentic for this sound. So that is how I'm running my amps and effects. Now I know that was done completely digitally. However, you know, Line 6 Helix, Axe Effects, Kemper, all these things sound so authentic these days. It's just more convenient when I'm recording to use stuff like this. However, I don't really look at them as, you know, a digital spaceship. All I'm thinking is how I can get what I'm used to, you know, tube screamers, Fender amps, analog delays, you know, spring reverbs, nice Fender style guitars, how I can get all that to sound authentic on a digital unit. So all the things I spoke about on the Line 6 is exactly how I would approach an analog signal chain. So if you are on an analog signal chain, you can still use all of these skills. Anyway, that is Mayer's tone in Last Train Home to my ears. If you disagree with anything, if you think I've missed anything, please leave it in the comments. I'm always looking to develop my guitar tone and I'm always looking for little nuggets of information to improve my guitar tone, so please, let's put them in the comments. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to give me a like, a subscribe, and as always, I will see you next week to help you transform your playing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, please check out the full cover I did of Last Train Home here. Thanks very much.